like Jesus gave them a charge and gave them a work to do.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
We all have a charge and we all have a work to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean we're not going to go through something and have what I call a valley experience while we're on this journey, because we're going to have. It's going to happen. And we need each other to hold each other up, not to fight against. It's too much that we have to fight against to keep ourselves up and then to bring others up.
Mm-hmm. All right now.
We fight against that thing that fights against us. And plead our cause as we come praying unto you, that you hear our prayers to make us stronger. That we can get through and help each other through. Am I making sense, God's people?
Amen.
And so as the Spirit had brought it to me, I said, a lot of people don't understand this thing. Why do I go through it? And why hasn't it broken yet? I was one. I had my life all planned out. I said, it's okay. We're going to have this baby, because both our children were planned. We're going to have this baby. I'm going to stay at home for a certain amount of time. And when she gets to school full time, I'm going to go back to work. Mm-hmm. I was only going to have one. But then I said in 6 months, and Prophet talking about in 4. Oh yeah, we can have another baby. But he's screaming to everybody, you're not doing this again, as I'm in labor with the first one. 4 months later, yeah, we can have another one. We? How many labor pains have you? Come on, we. But here comes his namesake. I said, okay, I can still do this and go back. And then the field that I'm in had the bottom to fall out. That's when the housing just fell apart.
Well,
I said, well, there goes those plans. And then all these thousands and hundreds of thousands of people losing their jobs, which made it more difficult for me to come out of being an at-home mom to just jump into, because it was people that came, I just got out of this job, I'm ready. You understand what I'm saying? Had that hands-on experience. And I toyed with this thing. And I'm like, why is it that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to? Okay, I'm going to give it 7 years. 7 years came and go, okay, 11 years. God works 7s and 11. 11 years came and go. But in the meantime, I was still working.
well, amen.
I was doing the spiritual work. I was working, counseling, healing, teaching,
Amen.
prophesying, counseling, doing what I am that God had me to do.
All right now.
Uh-huh.
And it put me in the mind of when the people, the Israelites,
Uh-huh.
wanted to take the city of Jericho.
Well,
And in some writings you'll see where they said that Joshua sent 2 spies.
Mm-hmm.
In Deuteronomy, Moses sent 12.
all right.
Uh-huh.
Joshua sent 2. And as we see, they came back and they told me, I said, you know what? The walls are too fortified. They're too well fortified. They got their stuff together. They're not going to let us in. I touched on this morning. They're not going to let us in. We're going to lose too many lives and we're not strong enough. Do you hear people talking like that? I'm not strong enough to do that. You're not strong enough to do that.
Amen.
Uh-huh.
We can't do that. It's not enough of us to take on such a big thing, a big project. And what happened? And they heard, Joshua heard them. And out of all the people, those 2 came back. One came back and said, we can't do it. Well, it was only just one, really. I apologize. Only one that said, we can do it. All the rest are saying, no, we can't do it. And so because Joshua listened to the one, they had to sit and wait for God to bring them up and out before they can take the city.
Uh-huh.
And that's when they were in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm. Go
And they
ahead.
stayed in the wilderness for 40 years. So if I had to have I guess a title to the message,
All right now.
it would be Respect Your Wilderness Experience.
All right.
What you mean by that, Miss Teacher? Why should we respect something we going through? It's hard. They stayed in 40 years. What's to respect about that? You know that they were going through and fighting. They didn't have what they needed, and they said they stayed there for 40 years with one pair of shoes and one suit of clothes. Why would they respect that?
Come on now, Queen.
And so the Spirit, listen to what it was read. They said they sent the spies out. Am I right about it?
Uh-huh.
And the spies who came back, listening to somebody, listening to something that's not right.
Uh-huh.
Do you understand what I'm saying today? You have to listen to it. And then Deuteronomy, I think it's Deuteronomy 2. I'm looking at Deuteronomy 8 for some reason. But with this wilderness experience comes a lesson and a blessing.
Uh-huh.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
And it's the people started to say, you know what? I am God, we thank you for this, because it was things we had to learn
Amen.
while we were going through this wilderness experience.
All right now.
So when we got to the promised land, we were ready for it, and we appreciate it, and we're grateful for what you did for us. Had we not had that wilderness experience, we would have gone in there not knowing what to do,
Uh-huh.
how to do it, who to do it with, and lost the blessing. But we had to go through a wilderness experience in order for us to appreciate what we had.
Uh-huh.
I had to go through in order to understand that what God gives me should be appreciated. I should appreciate the things I have and be grateful for it and help others in it.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
One thing that you have to have, or we have to have as we go through our wilderness experience, is humility.
Uh-huh.
Be humble. Be humble to I am that I am God. And what I mean by that is humble yourself to God and pray about it.
Amen.
Ask the questions, meditate while you're going through this wilderness experience to help you to get through. The answers may not come as to why you're going through this thing, but it can help you being humble. It can help to get you through. When we pray about a thing, when we meditate about it, and be humble unto I am that I am God. Don't be all proud and big-headed. The people had to understand, and they were still thankful. They were humble enough to still give thanks while they were going through. Did you hear what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
They didn't complain about it. And if they did complain, they stopped complaining.
Go ahead, Queen.
Did you hear me? It wasn't a woe is me, I don't know what to do, why? And if it was, they came to themselves enough to be humble to I am them God and ask the Spirit
Come on now.
to help me through this thing. Go through it with me. Feel my pain. Take the pain away from me as I'm going through. Do you hear what I'm saying today?
Go ahead, Queen.
Get this negative spirit from around me while I'm going through this thing, while I'm getting through this thing.
Uh-huh.
Be humble unto the Spirit.
Uh-huh.
Something else they needed was joy.
Amen.
Because the joy of the I am that I am God is what?
That's strength.
That's what strengthens you when you keep your joy.
Uh-huh.
When you keep your joy, you can say thank you like Jesus, and you can say I trust you. I am that I am God while you at your lowest.
Uh-huh.
Then I am that I am God will give you joy and make you stronger.
Amen.
Uh-huh.
And that's the third thing. You got to be strong
Got to
through
be
this.
strong.
And surround yourself with strong people that are going to keep you strong. And you help to be strong, because even when we go through this wilderness experience, we're going to still have to witness to people about the goodness of the I am God. We're going to still have to witness to them. We're going to still have to prophesy to them. We're going to still have to pray for, with, and to them. Our work does not stop because we are getting through a hard time.
Amen.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Go ahead, Queen.
We don't have the time to give up. It's not so much, it's not an option. We don't have the time to do that because we still must work.
Uh-huh.
And surround ourselves with people that are going to continuously remind us
Yes.
that we are getting through this thing. We're going to have to go through something. We are getting through to come out with the divine substance I am that I am God has for us.
Uh-huh.
And do you know some people didn't make it out the wilderness?
Well,
Some people never crossed the Red Sea or the
Uh-huh.
River of Jordan. Some people never did. Why? Because they weren't willing to change their ways.
yeah.
That's why we start with occupying another mind. I changed it a little bit for the sake of church. I said occupying another mindset.
Now, come on.
They weren't willing to change. They wanted to stay on the pity pots. They wanted to stay angry. They wanted to stay selfish. They wanted to stay negative.
Go ahead now.
They wanted to keep on singing a somebody done me wrong song.
Well,
You understand? All they needed was a good time, a dog, and the dog died, and the dog died. Somebody did me wrong. My wife left me. My house flew up. My tent flew up in the air. They want to keep the somebody done me wrong song.
all right now.
No matter how much you try to uplift them, they're going to find
Oh, wait.
something to be sad about.
Go for it.
Then you have the people you ask how you doing, and you better have a half hour because they're going to tell you every ailment. They're going to tell you every hurt, every problem. I worked with a woman like that, sweet woman, but don't ask how she was doing.
Well,
Talking about how her cholesterol is, but she telling me she had 3 eggs for breakfast every day that week. Come on now. What do you expect? You got the ones that are the zealots, but for the wrong reasons. Everything they say, oh, God gonna work it out, and Jesus got the answers, and this is what we have to do. But then the wind blows, and what does the wind do? Blow off that facade that they have, and you see that they're standing on fear, on doubt. They playing a game. They saying what you want to hear.
Come on now, Queen.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? While we're getting through this wilderness experience, these are the kinds of people that we're going to run into.
uh-huh.
Then you have ones that are not going to even see your good. They're going to sit up and they're going to look and they're going to find your shortcomings. And because they're miserable,
Amen.
they're going to insist that you be miserable.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Because you are miserable or going through a thing that will make you feel miserable,
Uh-huh.
because they're miserable, they're going to continue to tell you about your shortcomings.
Well,
Then they're going to have the remedy for your shortcomings and show you how to get through something that they've never gone through. Then
2.
they're going to direct you to what you need to do and where you need to be. 9 times out of 10, they're not there. Or if they are there, they're not taking in the teaching. They're not.
Uh-huh.
Then they're going to try to tell you who's for you and who's not for you.
Amen.
And they're the wolf in sheep's clothing. I know I'm right about it. We've all gone through it. We've all gone through it. Some people need to have mantelpieces because they're not happy with themselves. So that they can break your spirit. That's what they'll do. Especially when they see that you are experiencing a valley experience. You're in the wilderness. We all have to be there at one time or another in our lifetime. So it's up to me as a woman of God to help us to get through it.
Amen.
I may not be able to stop you from going, may not be a preventive measure out there. It's just what we have to go through.
All right.
So it's up to me to give you the tools to help you to get through
All right.
and to tell you what to watch for.
Amen.
There are going to be people that don't like you because of your talents,
All right.
your
Go ahead,
gifts,
Queen.
your talents, who you are. Because your voice can soothe.
Amen.
Because you are a reader, you are a seer, and they don't have the gift.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why should you have it?
Go ahead now.
Then they're going to try to prophesy, get up there, prophet line, mess your life up, because you're going to believe them, because that's who you put your faith in. Do you understand what I'm saying?
All right now.
If you have the gift of healing and you have the gift of prophesying, I'm going to come to you when I need a healing, a calm voice.
Amen.
Need clarity.
When I need a word from God, that
Amen.
when we need deliverance, we have an empress that can help us to be
Go ahead.
delivered from something that we need to be delivered from. And we have a princess that sits at the foot and takes it in and should be the manifestation of the teaching.
Amen.
Do you understand what I'm saying? When we look around, this is what we're looking for. We have what we need. We have a student that's sitting on the mercy seat and taking it in. Anticipating the day when he goes to the mountain and is sealed with the teaching. Do you understand what I'm saying today? And then we have the one to represent the church of tomorrow. And then we have one who came from another tribe but is still part of us, that is a wealth of knowledge and is gifted.
Amen.
And then we have those that come to seek, if nothing but a word,
Go ahead.
if nothing but strength to get through this week, get through this day, to help me to face what I have to face when I get back home. Do you understand what I'm saying? We look for that while we're in the wilderness, while we're getting through what we're getting through. And that's why everybody has gifts.